Thank you for coming. We're going to talk about stuff that I know nothing about.
Cool.
Which is newborn portraiture and portraiture. How do you manage the whole business side of what you do for a living? Because it's completely antithetical to what it's just vastly different from what I do.
It's totally different. And when I do family work, it's completely different than commercial photography. So what happens is people reach out to us and then they ask, what are you priced? And we have session fees, and then we have portrait packages, essentially. And they can buy into a portrait package, or they can do a la carte.
Are you using software, spreadsheet, Microsoft Word document to communicate what the session fee is? And is there a document that they sign?
Yes.
How are the legalities?
So I use Iris.
What is Iris?
Iris is a management system for photographers. It just kind of does your intake forms, it does contracts, it does questionnaires, email templates, and scheduling, essentially. It has like a calendar, very easy to use. And then it syncs with QuickBooks afterwards for invoicing.
What does that legal look like so they can protect themselves and make sure to have an efficient business running?
In the contract, it has everything that we own the images. You know, even when they purchase them, we still own them. They can use them, they can print on their own if they want to, but we will always still own the images.
So you're saying that you own the copyright to the image,
Correct,
is that right?
we still own the copyright to the images.
And then how do people respond to that?
They're fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of education behind that?
No, we've never had anybody ask. I mean, if they buy their digital images, they can print on their own, they can use on social media. You know, they can't edit them.
And nobody has a problem with that?
No. You have to own your business. You have to be strong with your beliefs. I don't let any of my clients tell me what to do, and everybody's fine with it. As long as you're friendly and open at the beginning. When people are inquiring with us, we're very upfront about our policies. Everything's in a client questionnaire, everything's in that contract.
So a lot of what you're doing is repeat business. You're
Yes.
establishing a really good client base,
Right.
And then you are advocating to have them around for the first year of the child's,
Right.
And then continuing with family photos too?
Yeah, continuing with family photos,
yeah.
and then all their friends and all their siblings. And
What's the expectation for archiving?
I put on there that I keep them for 2 years.
Has anybody ever come and said, like, after 2 years and said, like, can I
Yes.
still get my photo? And do you charge a fee for that? Do you charge
Yes,
archive?
I do charge a fee. It's a $100 archive fee.
Have you ever ventured into the commercial world?
I did shoot for Nikon.
And what kind of pictures were you delivering to them?
Family
was this something
interaction.
that had to be produced, or was it just sort of like you doing your thing?
They asked me to produce certain types of images that they were looking for in their new marketing campaign.
But the
for
shoot
families.
was basically just you with the camera and making it happen.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they
let
trusted
you choose
me.
the talent and the whole.
Yes, and they chose me, and then they saw the images. They said, yes, we love these, do more. And then now I kind of have an open
Door
contract with them.
So
yeah.
I got you. And then how are you managing the legal with them?
They have a contract that I sign, and then they have a contract that I send to my clients that they sign.
So you shot this stuff for Nikon.
Right.
How long do they have the rights to use those images for?
I have absolutely no idea.
You just signed the contract.
Apparently I did.
Did you read it?
I mean, yeah, but I don't remember how long they have.
Was that even a question for you?
No, because it was Nikon, and maybe I need to talk to you more.
Well, ask
This
away.
is great.
Yeah. Okay. Ask any questions about commercial photography. Hit
Okay,
me.
so I actually have a lot of questions about commercial photography.
Let's go.
Because commercial photography is so based on how many people need to be there, what equipment you need to have there, the time of the people. There's so many moving parts to commercial photography, and every single time somebody reaches out for a commercial bid, I have absolutely no idea. When somebody inquires and asks you to shoot their product, what is the best way to respond first before pricing? Like, what do you ask? I have no idea even what to ask.
The most important thing you need to ask is how long are you going to use the images for?
Okay.
Where are the images going to be used? Is it going to be global? Is it going to be regional? In what media is it going to be used? Is it going to be used in collateral material like brochures and annual reports, or is it going to be on out of home, which is code for billboards? All these factors come in to create pricing, which is called a usage fee for using the images. And most critical is how long are they going to use it for? Are they going to use it for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or forever? And there's a lot of stuff that goes into the mix, and there's no one guide. It's a very complicated little dance that you have to do, and you get better at it with more experience.
Most portrait photographers have absolutely no idea how to price commercially, and we are approached with this all the time.
Are you? Are you being approached by people who should know better, or is there naivete on both sides?
Both sides.
There's naivete on both sides.
I do believe on both sides.
Okay. Company comes to you. You're a great portrait photographer. We love what you do. Here's a product. Let's invent like a doll company.
Okay.
Like a theoretical doll company. Let's call it RGG Dolls. Let's call it Gary Dolls.
Yeah.
And they're coming to you and saying, hey, we love your portraiture, and do you have a cute young girl that you can use to hold this doll? I talked to the parents. If they can take some photos from the shoot for themselves to print up and put on their wall, they'll let us use the daughter and sign the model release.
Okay.
Did you get a model release?
Yes.
Okay. So
It's my own.
it's your own model release.
Right.
Now, you've taken this picture and you've got this picture of the stall, and it goes to this company, and they're now using it for magazine ads.
Right.
What seemed like a fair price that they approached you with for that?
Say my digital images are for a family portrait session are typically $1,500.
$1,500.
They would want less than a standard family because you're getting to use their name.
We are Gary Dolls, and
Right.
we're an up-and-coming brand. People know us. And by association to Gary Dolls, because you're part of this portrait world, which is usually kids,
Right.
this is going to help your career.
Right.
And so we're not going to pay the $1,500,
Right.
but we'll pay you, what, like $1,900?
Yeah, so like 1,000. So
Like
say, and then what if they pay per time? They want this many images, and any image over, they're going to say give you $100 per image
$100 per image
or less,
or less.
depending on the company.
How many images are we talking about, like, delivering?
90.
90 images. So you're giving them basically a library of images.
Right. And anything over than that, then they start charging, which is kind of
They
common.
start charging, they start
I mean,
paying.
they start paying. I mean,
Okay, so Gary Images comes to you, take pictures of our product with as many talent as you can, give the parents pictures, let them put them up on their walls, and we will take this kid in different scenarios 90 times over, so we've got 90 images. So now we've got a library of 90 images. For how long?
a year.
And they're paying you $1,000 for the 90, and then you're giving them raw images that they can manipulate, or are you
No, I would
applying
edit
your
them.
lockdown
I would apply my lockdown.
on that, so they can't
Right.
touch them? You're taking these images,
Right.
you're editing them, then you're post-producing them,
Right.
to make them look good because your name's on it for $1,000.
Right. Which is really cheap.
So the fees that you should be getting for this
Right.
is about, just for usage, is about $15,000. And you should probably, maybe for taking the day to shoot it, you probably should have got about $5,000, and that's on the lower side. So you underbid yourself by $19,000.
So this is a big deal because, like in our area, for instance, I'm probably the most close to the highest
In your market?
in my market.
Yep.
Charging photographer.
You're on the higher end of the market.
I'm the higher end of the market
Right,
here.
okay, gotcha.
So I'm averaging between, $2,000 to $5,000 a shoot, essentially,
Okay.
for a portrait session.
And you should
Which
have got,
take
for this
half the-
portrait session that you did,
Yeah.
in exchange for talent fees for portraits or pictures, you should have gotten between $19,000 and $23,000.
Yeah.
And the numbers that I gave you are on the conservative side.
Yeah.
These are not wackadoo numbers. These are very real life numbers.
Yeah.
So
And I think a lot of times, so for a lot of portrait photographers, they're doing simple product shoots, right? Nothing complicated. We're not hanging off buildings with Joe McNally, being awesome. It's kind of simple shoots. So I think in the portrait mind,
so simple doesn't necessarily mean less money.
Yeah.
That's where the devalue is coming from. Oh,
Yeah.
it's simple, I shouldn't be charging that much money. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one more quick thing. So you said that you've run into a lot of people who ask you questions about this.
Right.
And social media following, if somebody's got 10 million followers on social media, is this of value to you if you get called out on the social media? If somebody's got like 1 million followers or something like that?
the only reason it's a big deal now is because the more commenting that happens, as we know on social media, is going to get your work seen. Because now on social media, things aren't being seen as much anymore. And I think that's about it. Some people are money or number hungry for big numbers, which, as you and I know, that doesn't bring you clients, right?
Right. So let me ask you, was that if this Gary Doll company came to
Right.
you and said, look, I've got 2 million followers on social media, and I'm going to pay you $1,000 to shoot this picture. We're going to use it for whatever we want for a year, and then we are going to give you a lot of shout outs on social media, which has 2 million followers on it.
Right.
Is that worth $19,000?
No.
Mind blowing?
Yeah.
Had no idea that money was on the table, did you?
No, that's the portrait mindset. A lot of,
Yeah.
Especially the newer photographers out there. I've been doing it for a little bit longer, but a lot of the really newbie people, you're like, oh, I can get all these followers.
Wow.
But followers don't bring you business.
At all?
No.
No. Thanks for sharing and being so candid about what you're doing.
Yeah, of
Right
course.
on.
Thanks
What a
for
pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Take care.